What is going on, everybody? My name is Nathan Knox, and I am the host of your favorite sports talk show, At the Top, where we'll be diving into the things that are happening on the court and field, as well as everything that's happening off of it. So, without further ado, let's lace up, lock in, and I'm going to see y'all at the top. This episode, we are going to start with the business topics first, because some of these are definitely something that I want to dive into. I want my audience to let me know how y'all feeling. I've definitely appreciated the support up until this far. So please keep going with me, y'all. We about to turn up for real, for real. So right now we about to dive into Jalen Williams, the star guard, the co-star guard of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Basically, Shy's, Robin to his Batman, is going to lose out on $48 million. I repeat, he's missing out on damn near 50 M's. Why, D-Nate? Why is Jalen Williams missing out on almost 50 M's? Well, unfortunately, the injury bug got him. And under these NBA new rules, if you do not play 65 games, you are not eligible for an All-NBA team. Jalen Williams just came off of his best year of his career, where he was an All-NBA player. If he wanted, he honestly, with the traction, that the way this team is going, the way this team is flowing, he probably would have been maybe a second or third team guy just based off the team success. He would have been up for a huge contract bonus. Now, he's already missed 19 games this year. So basically, he's not going to play that 65. Without playing that 65, Sam Presti up in that box saves about 50 mil. Which means that their salary cap, they're not going to leak into the luxury tax. They won't have to pay, more than what they should. They are getting a great value for Jalen Williams, especially if they could cut a contract down by $50 million. Now, if he did make that All-NBA team and he was going to gain that extra 48 mil, that possibly could have pushed the Oklahoma City Thunder into what you call the second apron. Now, the NBA salary cap has first apron and second apron that have been implemented over the past, I think, 2 or 3 years. And it's really just a cap of how much money teams could spend without being penalized. Now, this is huge for OKC because now they could stay in that first apron and not have to touch the second one where their team would have to pay extra luxury taxes and so on and so forth. So it's a big loss for Jalen Williams. A big win for the Oklahoma City team as a whole. But honestly, when those guys are making that much money, listen, the extra 50 mil, I get it. It's a lot of money, but what is that doing? You know what I mean? He has more money than his family could ever dream of at this point. You know what I mean? Take care of yours and focus on a good career. More contract incentives. Lane Kiffin, the Ole Miss football coach who led his team to an 11-1 season, their first college football playoff appearance. And unfortunately, due to the crazy NCAA, had to leave his current position as head coach of Ole Miss and take the job at LSU. And not only did he take the job, but LSU said he cannot finish the season and he must leave immediately. He cannot talk to players. He can't talk to coaches. None of that. He was on a plane to Baton Rouge the night they even sniffed that they wanted this position. Now, I feel like this hurts a bunch of people, especially the players on Ole Miss's team. Imagine being led by a coach who just took you into your best season possibly of all time. You have a chance of competing for a national championship, and you get stripped of your leader right before the playoffs. And not only that, but he goes to LSU, who now is going to be up in there recruiting and is probably going to be a powerhouse over the next 5 years. I mean, listen, you could talk all the shit you want about Lane Kiffin. What you can't say is that he don't get the job done. He took Ole Miss's program, turned it around. LSU has had a slight dip. He is about to get Death Valley back on top. I can almost guarantee it. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the guy. I'm not a huge fan of college football, but the facts are facts. And he proves it every single time he steps in. Well, he's proved it in his last coaching stint. So now with a huge program like LSU, which is historical stars, NFL players coming from all over the place, prove it here and you'll really solidify yourself in coaching history. Now, let's talk about the contract, though, because the contract incentives are kind of crazy here. Now, LSU was so gung-ho on taking Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss that they said, you know what, Lane? We know that Ole Miss was going to give you a bonus based on how your team performed in the college football playoff. So basically, if they just make it to the first round, it's $150,000. Second round, $250,000. And if they win the national championship, I believe his bonus was going to be $1 million. LSU said, we got the tab, little bro. We got the tab. They said, hold your breath, Ole Miss. We going to take Lane Kiffin, and then we also are going to pay him the bonus based on how y'all do. So if y'all do well, we going to take care of big bro because he's over here on our campus. Like, that's kind of crazy to me. But then they said, not only are we going to pay your bonus from this year, but if you make the playoffs with LSU, you're going to get $3 million bonus if you win the championship. So they said, oh, that $1 million that you would have got at Ole Miss, yeah, we going to triple it and give it to the next person, which is you. So LSU was not playing. They were set on the next leader of their football program to the point where in the contract it says that the school is covering, right? The school is covering the purchase price difference of Lane Kiffin's new home. So when he moves from Mississippi to Baton Rouge, as long as that price difference does not exceed $500,000, I believe his home was estimated at $2.97 million currently. As long as you don't pass that 3.6 mark, LSU got him. Listen, that's a different type of motion, man. So shout out to Lane Kiffin. Congratulations on his new job at LSU. But that is some craziness going on in the NCAA, and they really have to fix that, that football calendar, whether, transfer portals, coaches could leave, playoffs start. You have a whole committee of people. Let's get this straightened up and let's figure out a composed way to where coaches and players alike can both benefit off of the system. So if y'all did not know, pivoting from the money talk for a little bit, one of your favorite rappers, TOOSIE, has committed to Syracuse football. Yes, that's the same TOOSIE that sung Favorite Song that dropped in 2023. The same TOOSIE that had the little TOOSIE slide next to him and stuff like that. Like, yes, that TOOSIE. At 25 years old, which isn't crazy, COVID years and stuff like that. We got 26, 27-year-old dudes playing college ball. At 25 years old, he has committed to Syracuse football. Now, Coach Moore at Syracuse football is doing his thing. Is TOOSIE going to contribute to the team's success? No. Are they going to have a lit locker room? Yes. Or is NIL money going to be coming out the ass for them players now? Yes. Is marketing going to be on 10? Yes. You literally have a platinum recording artist on your football team. Now, he's not taking away no scholarships from nobody. I'm sure he's just going to be a walk-on and stuff like that. But him being a part of that roster, as long as he is dedicated to the sport itself and he's committed on not being a distraction, I think this is a huge win for Syracuse football. Big shout out to TOOSIE himself for really putting in that work, because now he's a Division I collegiate athlete. No matter what path you take, if you put in the work and you're playing at Division I level, it doesn't matter what he's doing. He can never play a game in his life. He's going to have to wake up at 6 a.m. He's going to have to report to practice. He's going to have to report to lift. He's going to be doing all the things a Division I athlete has to do and is required to do. So shout out to him for taking that journey, doing the rapper and now, pursuing his athletic career. So I just feel like that's super dope. Syracuse football, huge win. Coach Moore, huge win. So, a lot going on in Syracuse right now. We got Kyan over there on the basketball team. Now you got TOOSIE over here on the football team. Cuse is up. That's all I can say right now. Cuse is up. And then, sticking with the state of New York now, New York City is going to open the Metropolitan Park. If you have not heard about the Metropolitan Park, it has just been approved by the state of New York and the city of New York in the borough of Queens. And it will be a $8 billion casino complex. So basically what they said, all right, so we got Vegas, y'all could sports bet on your phones, but now we're going to bring it to the Mecca, right? Now, Queens does have the World Resorts Casino, but bringing this type of attraction to New York City, I think expands the possibilities of what can happen. Like, you could go to a Mets game, a Yankees game. It's a hub for, your home sports. It's like the football teams, the Giants and Jets play in Jersey. Now you have some place where people could, gather together, place bets a safe way. But at the same time, as much good as it could do for the city, it could also be detrimental to the city. We understand that addiction is in play. We understand that there's gambling issues all over the place. By inserting this type of establishment in New York can honestly, as much as it can, help people and, bring jobs into the city and, clean up certain areas and stuff like that, it could also be detrimental to the pockets of some of the locals that just cannot have control over themselves. So the last thing I want to see is people, going there and ruining their lives and putting life savings on games and whatnot. But at the same time, this is a huge, huge step for New York. And if New York is going to expand outside of Manhattan, which a lot of businesses right now are trying to take advantage of the Brooklyn real estate, the Queens real estate, and even some of the, nearby Jersey shoreline. But the expansion is coming, and, putting something like that in Queens, I think is just going to, bring more attention to the market and, bring more tourism and, I guess, gamblingism, if you want to call it, people traveling to gamble for New York. So great for the city. However, I'm not sure how the citizens of New York are going to feel about having this huge type of facility right in their backyard. And then shout out to the Washington Wizards. I mean, literally nobody is going there to watch the actual basketball on the court. However, if you're trying to vibe with friends for $61, right? That's starting at $61. You get a 400 level seat. All right. Like, listen, you high up, you ain't right by the court, but it's starting at 61, right? So obviously if you pay more, you may get a little closer, but at minimum, you get a 400 level seat, right? And they're 400 levels. On top of that, you get an entree and a side. Now we in DC now. Food, you know what I mean? I'm sure they could whip something up over there, down there. You know what I mean? So food, entree and side. And then on top of that, if you're 21 plus, you get unlimited beer, wine, and soft drinks. So if you tell me I could slide to the Wizards games with my boys, I got live entertainment, which is a basketball game. I'm a hooper myself. So no matter how bad the Wizards are, they're probably playing a team with somebody who's at least somewhat notable. And I could spend $70 and get unlimited drinks, of food, and I'm chilling with my guys at the game. Listen, count me in. So Wizards, even though the product on the court may not be good, your marketing team is doing a great job of trying to keep the fans inside the stadiums. More teams and more organizations need to take care of their fan base that are showing up to these games. I'm tired of people paying $200, $150, $300 to go to a game, and then I get to the game and I get a water, a hot dog, and a pack of popcorn, and I done spent $35. That's ridiculous. Like, make the prices a premium and lower the snacks, or lower the prices of the seats and keep the snacks where they at. Like, pick a struggle here. Like, teams are going to see that, especially if they're struggling teams, that people are going to stop showing up to games. So if you want people to be in the arena, which y'all have 82 games a year because of that fan base, make it simple on people. Like, entice people on, to go. Like, I should be enticed, well, shoot, $70, I could get to a Wizards game? Entree inside? Unlimited bevs? Shoot, I mean, I ain't doing nothing this Friday. Yo, hit my boys up. Now y'all just made, let's say I hit 5 of my guys. That's $350 y'all just made. But if I look at the tickets and they $100 and I don't get none of that, I'm staying my ass home. I'm good. I'll watch it on TV because, I don't need that. So, But shout out to the Wizards, doing a good job. And that's all the business topics right now. So we are about to get into the football over this past week on At the Top. All right. So let's talk about what's going on in the NFL week 13. And Thanksgiving, we had Thanksgiving Day games. We had Black Friday games. Sunday slate was So let's just break down the Thanksgiving Day games. First, we had the Lions versus the Packers. Packers came out with a win, right? What are we talking about, right? The Packers QB lineage is crazy. If you think about, as far as I can remember, Favre, Rodgers, Love. Favre, Rodgers, Love. Now, they don't have many Super Bowls to show for it, but every team in the league is looking for that type of consistency at the quarterback position. And right now, we are watching Jordan Love become a very, very good quarterback. So I think the Packers are good for the next 10. And after that, who knows what they do? But for the past 30 freaking years, they've had stud after stud after this kid is really growing. He growing into a stud, man. So we going to have to see. But Jordan Love is, really coming to his own. Career high 4 TDs on Thanksgiving. Pack the Lions up, who are right now clinging to a wild card spot in the NFC, which seems to be getting good all of a sudden. I don't think really people even respected the NFC over the AFC coming into the year. So seeing all these NFC teams dominate is pretty surprising. But I mean, you got the Bears, you got the Bears, you got the Rams, you got the Eagles, you got the Cowboys coming up. So these lines better get stuff in straight because other teams are really knocking at that door. Second game of the day, we had the Chiefs versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys came up on top 31-28. Chiefs, what's going on, dog? Patty. Hey, listen, I ain't going to say too much, but Dallas looked real good. All I can say is Dak with that combination. If CD Lamb stops dropping balls, right? The combination between him and George Pickens, who was just, George Pickens got more receiving yards than the entire Steelers receiving corps. What are we talking about? Is that really him? Is it really that? Was it the QB change was really that much of a difference? Is it Dak or is it George? I don't know. But all I know is that they're cooking, and the Cowboys are honestly not an offensive team that I want to see in the playoffs. I don't want to see them. I really don't. If I'm an NFC opponent, especially if they're playing away, there's no, pressure and stuff. Man, look, you got Pickens on one side, see you on the other. Choose your poison. Both of those dudes have to be doubled. And then you got tight end. Listen, Dallas can be dangerous, but as long as they don't beat themselves, they can be dangerous. Now, the last game of the day, I'm going to, smooth over because I was pissed off watching the shit. Bengals beat the Ravens 32-14. Lamar was struggling all over the place. Ravens have been all over the place this year. I really don't know what's going on. They're 6-6. We started 1-5. Lamar was playing crazy. We came back when he was hurt. Then he came back. Then we 5-5. We back 1-1. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't really want to know what's going on. Cool. Let's just get to January. Hopefully we get a playoff game. Playoff game, playing with house money. Let's see how it goes. Right now, I don't even want to talk about these damn Ravens. The AFC North is so up for grabs. Who the hell knows? If the Ravens and the Steelers both shit the bed the next 4 or 5 weeks, the freaking Bengals could come back and make the playoffs. Who knows? But at this point, it's beyond me. I'm a fan through and through, but they done ruin my whole Thanksgiving meal, my whole plate. I had, dessert laid out on the table, ready to go. Had my little hing next to me, had my water bottle, and, I'm chilling, watching the game, ready for a good night, and mood ruined. I went to bed early that night, and I ain't even had the itis for it. I was really trying to lock in. It was done. Black Friday game, much better watch for me because I saw the Eagles lose. Sorry to my Eagles fans, but y'all had to catch this L. Caleb Williams said, "Pat, pat, pat, pat," with his painted nails. That's tough. That's tough. I'm sorry. But the Eagles offense, what's going on? There's trouble at home? Listen, don't bring the world into it. Keep that in the house because what is going A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, not on the same page, talking crazy. A.J. Brown talking about, listen, This is not going to get it done. Oh, we see it, bro. It's not getting done. Like, we see it. So it's funny because when he first talked about it, people like, oh, A.J. Brown crazy. They got a good record. They first place. He needs to shut up. Let Jalen cook. Let Jalen cook? Let Jalen cook? I mean, I can't lie. Caleb Williams didn't even play a great game, and y'all still got whooped. Like, ran all over the place. So, I mean, I hope the Eagles could turn it around. They have a pretty much tight grip on their division currently, but once the playoff comes, all problems will be brought to light. So at this point, we'll see. This year's NFL, tune into this year's NFL playoffs. I kid you not, you're going to see something crazy. Your normal teams that play good aren't going to be playing good. The teams that have been down for the past few years are going to be up. It'll be all over the place, but this year's NFL playoffs is going to be volatile, I promise you. Now, my surprises of the season so far, can we talk about the Panthers real quick? Can I give a shout out to Bryce Young? Shout out to my Carolina Panthers. That's my second favorite team if y'all didn't know. Shout out to my family in North Carolina. But the Panthers are 7-6. And let me name y'all some wins. The Cowboys, the Packers, and the Rams. Oh, 3 contenders in the NFC that have all lost to one team? I'm smelling something down there, Carolina, and it's not no barbecue. Bryce Young is cooking, and Carolina's coming for some teams, man. I want to be surprised they get that defense together. 2-3 years from now, Bryce starts cooking. Who knows? Who knows? But I like what I'm seeing in Carolina. The Patriots, another huge surprise. I mean, 10-2. However, it's a little different because I don't feel like they have that many quality wins. New England fans, don't come at me, oh my God, he's hating. No, I'm not hating. I'm looking at the actual schedule. Like, let's be real. I hate when people be like, oh my gosh, you play who's in front of you. Yes, you play who's in front of you. But guess what? The playoffs are going to come around too. So before that starts, I would be real hush, Patriots fans. Because guess what? I'm a Ravens fan. I remember when Lamar Jackson was the #1 seed and the MVP, and we were 14-2, right? And then we got to the playoffs, we had the bye, and we had a young QB, and he came off his bye, and we got ran all over by Derrick Henry. Cool out, Patriots fans. Like, I'm not saying that's y'all saying fate, but y'all talking real hot, real early. Real early. Now, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, the Ravens and Chiefs. What's up with y'all? Lamar, Patty. If you think about it, Lamar and Patrick Mahomes, in the past, I think 8 years, those two men alone account for 6 of the first team all NFL QB list. You take the first team all NFL the past 8 years, 6 times. I'm sorry, double. 6 times. Either Lamar or Pat was the first team QB. 3 for Lamar, 3 for Pat. These dudes, like, what's going on? I seen Lamar do it with less. I seen Patrick do it with less. And these both of the teams are struggling. Barely clinging on, trying to fight for AFC playoff spots when they're usually 1-2. Lamar has 2 1 seeds in his career already. And you know Patty got a few too. Come on. The guys need to wake up, honestly. The juggernauts need to wake up. The beasts of the AFC need to wake up. Not the Chiefs, really, but the Ravens need to wake up. Wake up. And we're going to call it a wrap after that. I appreciate all of y'all for tuning in and sticking with me through this ride. We're going up, and I will see y'all at the top.